Okay, so, uh, all right, we're good to go. It's crazy how DeSantis has fallen. Um, his horrific debates. I mean, it wasn't horrific, but it wasn't. It was just like meh. Vivek is just like stole the show. But I mean, when you call out the leader of the RNC to come and resign with your time, yeah, that took some big balls of him. So of course he's gonna steal the show, and he's gonna be looked at differently than everybody else. I think that like there's some polls that have Nikki Haley even above DeSantis at this point. That's pretty sad. I despise Nikki Haley. I despise that woman. She's the epitome of corruption on the right. I despise her so much that if Trump did make her a VP, I might not even vote for him. Like seriously, like that's how much I despise that woman. And I just like that's a very competent move with all the great talent out there that you can pick from. Carrie Lake, and like if you want to pick a woman, pick Carrie Lake, not fucking Nikki Haley. But yeah, it's like DeSantis, like it's so funny, like the factions. You get the DeSantis people that who were for Trump, and then now they're for DeSantis and they're against Trump now. It's just, man, if you're one of those lower candidates, either you're like a Tim Scott or the Vice President Pence. If you're like that, like one of these low people nobody cares about, like honestly, the debates, because like they didn't even have Larry Elder, man. So they should have at least had Larry Elder. He would have done a way better job than Tim Scott. Tim Scott just like, I'm sure he would be, I'm sure he would do good leading the country. I probably wouldn't mind a Tim Scott president. He might go authoritarian though, but I like Vivek, man. Vivek stole the show. But talking about this is kind of like old news, the debates, because it happened a couple weeks ago. But it's kind of not, because if you got polls and like they're all campaigning for president, so you have to look at different barometers of these people, especially like when you don't really know a lot of what they stand for, or you don't really see them a lot. Like Vivek Ramaswamy. I guarantee you, a lot of people don't even know who the hell that guy is. And I was like that when I first heard about him too. Well, oh, he's running for president. Like, who the hell is this guy? I didn't even know how to pronounce his name. And like he's just like, paying attention to different things that he's saying, different things he does. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. I like he's young. He's relatable. I think that, we need some youth in these offices. All these old dinosaurs that have been in office forever need to be retire. They need to retire. And the ones that the Jan 6 committee, the ones that you can see that there's obviously police allowing people to go along their way or actually aiding people. then like if you've seen this and then like you're just like, oh, it's an insurrection completely, you should be tried for treason because you're misleading the people. You're intentionally misleading the people. You're not showing the complete truth. So Cheney, whoever that little weasel is in California, I forgot his name, and all these other people that were on that committee trying to get, January 6th, like insurrection. They're trying to say like an overthrow of the government. I guess you're going to have a bunch of gun-loving people trying to overthrow the government with basically no guns. Not saying that there wasn't guns there. I'm not saying that there wasn't, but if you had that mass amount of people gonna try to take over the government, they're not gonna go empty-handed. They were there to protest, and it got out of hand, and there was some miscommunication, some interpretations, and some people acted out and broke the law, and then they should suffer the consequences. But like, those people should already have their trials, and some of those people should already be let out because they've already served their time. So it's like, if they've already been in prison for a couple years, and whatever you're gonna sentence them is like, it doesn't exceed that, why are they still in prison, dude? Like, I guess they get some type of retribution or something from the government and some type of like financial coverage for wasting somebody's life when they shouldn't be, so it's there's a lot of corruption over there in Washington, and bottom line is we just need to get new people constantly cycling in there, and I think that in some circumstances, I think that direct democracy, if it's like uncorrupted, where it's decentralized technology, where you can't have one authoritarian figure just like corrupted. The elites could have bought Bitcoin a long time ago, and they could have patented it, and then they could have made that currency worthless, but they didn't. And it's pretty expensive now, but they could have bought it a long time ago. I'm sure they could have bought up all the Bitcoins that they could have, except for the million that I forgot his name, Kaminoshi or something. I forgot, the guy who created Bitcoin. There's a million of those somewhere locked away. Anyway, so yeah, if one person owns all the currency, it makes it worthless. So they could have maintained control, but like, you're going to see more and more of these countries, especially in South America, and that might be somewhere where I actually want to move at this point. They back their currency with Bitcoin. They're doing really good. They've eliminated crime. The thing is, I really don't want to live in South America. I don't want to live by the Amazon, or I like living up north. There's less there's predators up here for sure, but there's less poisonous things. Like, I don't want to have to worry about anacondas and stuff like that. And yeah, most people don't last long there, so I don't know. But yeah, like these countries in Central America and stuff, like if they start adopting it and as a part of backing their currency or whatever, like you see more and more adoption and other people start using it, I'm surprised that they didn't implement that into BRICS some type of way. Maybe buying a bunch of Bitcoin, but see, China wants total control, so that would be, getting the BRICS, they're on board with BRICS, and I think at some point that America needs to, and they're gonna have to, because we're gonna like start going. People don't. When you have a society of people who don't want to work, who don't work, a lot of people get paid to stay home, or they're just living off of welfare, and you're taxing hard workers. Like, dude, you're taxing. I'm spending like 40% of my life working so I can pay my taxes, whatever taxes it may be, whether it's a state, federal income tax, or whatever. You tax us to death. You double tax us, and it's I don't even understand why you even bother taxing us anymore, to be honest, especially somebody in my position. Oh, okay, so I want to, all that politics stuff. This is what I want to talk about. Companies, this is what companies need to do. They need to give more options to the employees. You can just do the general basic thing where you come in and they, company basically starts you off at a certain number per hour that you make, and then you get, after so long, sometimes it's right off the bat they give you insurance, and those are the good companies. But some, a lot of companies make you wait 30, usually, honestly, it's the 90 days, so you have to go like 3 months without insurance, if you switch jobs, unless you pay for it yourself. But it would be nice if, like, whatever value that they throw at me, whatever it costs for me to be an employee there, when it comes to them paying for my insurance, them paying my salary, and anything else that they pay for me, maybe not insurance on me for them, but yeah, but anything that like benefits me, like cookouts or like merchandise, anything like that, where I don't want to participate in your cuisine. I don't want to have your free apparel. I'd rather have that in money, or I'd rather whatever compensation you're going to give to me as an employee, I would like to have control over of what I want to, how much I want of it. Maybe I want to be fully covered on insurance, so I don't have to pay nothing, whatever that is. So then you knock me down however much an hour. Maybe I was supposed to start out at $21 an hour, and since I, with insurance, well, since I want my insurance fully covered, I don't want to have to pay co-pays, I don't have to pay shit. Now you only pay me $13 an hour, or something like that. Then guess what? Then I can go to the government and get fucking food stamps. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to play the system, but it's like, this thing is burning anyway, and I'm just trying to, like, you might as well just get whatever you can out of a sinking ship. It's, dude, the whole thing with welfare is, I don't think it needs to be eliminated outright. I think it's like, so I was on it before, and then I used it, like, I shouldn't have had kids. I fucked up, and it shouldn't be on the taxpayer for me to do that, for me to, to help me out. it shouldn't be on them. But I was only on it for, I had a job the whole time. I paid rent, I paid for food, but like I got supplemented because I didn't make enough money, because I didn't have a good enough skill. I was working fast food, so obviously there's not a lot of benefits when it comes to fast food. And then trying to raise a family off of that, just not really the smartest idea. So yeah, eventually you have to be like, okay, I gotta switch things up, I gotta learn some new things, you know. And that's what you should want to do anyways. You should want to learn new things. What else are you gonna do? Like, yeah, you can play video games, but dude, video games get fucking boring after so long. Just like sitting there all day, it's like, it gets monotonous, repetitive, you know. You got to do something else with yourself, and you have to contribute to society at some type of way, like whatever it takes to get whatever it takes to sustain yourself, so you're not a drain. So like, yeah, I was a drain, but like I got my act together, you know what I mean? So like I screwed up, but I got it together. And I got off all that. I think I was probably like I think I was on like the government assistance crap for like maybe 3 or 2 years. So yeah, it helped me. It put a roof over my head. It put food in my belly and my family's. It did, you know. It's like it did help out. But like there needs to be some type of requirement to get yourself off of it. Whether it's educational, you know, stuff that you can go somewhere and learn trades. It'd be cool if you can learn the stuff like. You almost can for free if obviously you're not going to replace a septic tank or something like that when it comes to plumbing, but I mean, or like rewire your house completely. I mean, you can probably watch a video and figure out how to change some pipes underneath your kitchen sink, or your bathroom sink, you know, replace like something in the toilet, like like the little fountain thing, whatever, that little plug. You could probably figure it out yourself. Stop a running toilet, you know what I mean? Like you could probably if you just watch some couple videos. But which I've done so much. I've done so much of that. Watching videos help me understand stuff and figure stuff out. But like, yeah, the in-depth complex stuff, like, yeah, you leave that to an expert. You know, like if there's something wrong with my car, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and start taking it apart. The one I rely on fucking commuting back and forth, I'm not gonna start taking it apart. And I really am not a mechanic. So like, okay, something you know, my battery was leaking, right? So and I think there was something internally because I was charging my phone, and I think that was like I was charging it like for an hour or something, and just driving. I think there was just something when it comes to technology wise, computer wise, there's a problem in the system. But yeah, it started leaking and getting all, like, the acid got over shit. You know, I didn't even know about it. The dealership told me about it, and they said you can do it yourself or have us do it. It's a lot of money. So I just did it myself. I went up on YouTube, figured it out. You know, baking soda, whatever. I forgot what it was. It was something special, and then cleaned it up, and it's been good since. You know, like changing your fucking tire. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure out how to change your damn tire. You know, basic stuff like that. That's basic, right? That's not complex. But the complex, you want to you want to leave to the professionals. So, and more and more people, as the boomers pass away, more of them die off, you're gonna have a lot of people that just don't know what the fuck to do. So people better hope that technology innovates and keeps innovating, and it is where I work there. They're setting up an AI warehouse, and you know, that's eliminating a lot of jobs there, and you're gonna see more and more of that shit. And I'm not worried because I don't feel like I want to stay there long anyway. I kind of like the smaller company environment a little better. You don't have to deal with fucking unions and shit. I fucking hate unions. They handcuff you so much. I can't just go to the boss and be like, hey man, can you look at my stats? Hey, look at this, that. Bam, bam, I'm doing good. I need a fucking raise, dude. You know, I can't just do that because they can't do shit because we're under contract. So it's just like, okay, then I'll go to this competitor. You know, it's you learn skills, man. You know, and you learn different skills. You don't have to be an expert in everything, you know. But yeah, you can invest your time in I mean, what else are you gonna do? Seriously, you know, as a man, I can't just lay around and not be productive. And you know, I need to be able to sustain myself, even though right now I'm not really. I'm kind of for me, I'm trying to get my kid going, right? So I'm trying to get him job experience, work ethic, you know, dealing with shit that you don't want to fucking deal with, fucking manning the fuck up, because that's what's all about being a man. It's just manning the fuck up and doing shit you don't want to do, and being somewhere you don't want to be. Like today's fucking Thanksgiving, man. I don't want to go to fucking work, and I have to go to work. Not like I got anything planned on. I'm not gonna go spend time with any family or anything, but it's still as a man, there's shit that you have choices to make, and you know, usually the tougher choice is better in the long run. So you just do the best you can, but I'm trying to toughen him up, and like I said, he could save money, and he's gonna appreciate whatever the fuck he does, man. And honestly, all the bullshit that bullshit he's going through, the things he doesn't like, one day he's gonna be able to reminisce and be like, damn, that was kind of cool. You know, he'll be looking back through rose-colored glasses, I worked with my dad. That was actually pretty cool. And I think a lot of kids don't do that with their parents, is work with their parents, and they used to do that all the time. But my whole thing on this is use this pain and suffering to propel yourself into learning different skills so you don't have to do this type of bullshit and get stuck in this trap for the rest of your life, because like wire work is so fucking mind-numbingly soul-sucking boring. It's so boring, and repetitive, so repetitive. So I think that's it. It's just like, and that's most workplaces. Like if you're a blue collar worker, that's most fucking jobs. It's just fucking repetitive, and it's like, but the key is like having to do stuff that you don't want to do, as being a man.